Right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. We're going to call the meeting of April 14th, 2016 to order. Then you take the roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Here.
Council members Achara.
Here.
Long.
Here.
Shephaka.
Here.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Here. Everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then please remain standing for a moment of silent prayer thereafter. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The notice requirement of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting has been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press, Coaster, posted in Town Hall, and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk on December 29th, 2015. There are two emergency exits, one to my right will take you out to the front parking lot, one to my left take you out to the rear parking lot. If you have a cell phone, please turn them off. If you need to make a call, kindly go out to the lobby out there and make your call. That'll be great. Before we get started tonight, I'm going to make a few comments. One thing in particular, I know the recent yeshiva application's been going back and forth, and the final hearing is going to be on April 25th. Just a statement, we can't really, of course, the mayor and council can't make an opinion either way on the application. We can't influence any determination or final judgment. But I'll say this, it started out as an application for a use change. It got kicked back and forth, and then they invoked this RELUPA case. And the only thing about that I'll say is that as a mayor of Ocean Township and as a resident here of over 50 years, I'm just a little put off that they actually labeled us as anti-Semitic community. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's us. I know it's not us. We're a very inclusive community, if anything else. I'm not going to cite all the reasons why, but save to say that recently we just celebrated the 50th anniversary of Hillel School, to name one, which started at that very site. So for many reasons for that, I just wanted to put that on the record that I know we're not that kind of a community. I know our people are better than that, and we got a great people here, and we are not that. So they're, I just take exception to them leveling those charges against us all. Secondly, I'll say we recently, moving off subject now, we recently had a meeting, Deputy Mayor and myself, with Senator Beck and the DOT for Highway 35. So part of what we're looking to do, our plan is make some major improvements to 35. So we had them all out there. One thing they did say, yes, we're going to pave Highway 35 2018. I said, well, we can't wait that long. There's potholes swallowing up cars. So they heard us. They're going to, do some fixes in the meantime. But, we've been looking at plans, Bill and I, what we can do to make the highway better to help the businesses in this town thrive. We want them to stay. After all, they're the heart and soul of the highway, right? They're rateables, and it behooves us to have them stay in business and do well. So one of the improvements that I suggested, hey, can't we at least make that median look better? If you can't break holes in it, make more access points to some of these businesses. And they were kind of receptive to that. And so they're going to come up with some plans. And hopefully in the summer we'll have something for you guys to look at. And we'll get into that. But so safe to say we're going to have some nice improvements coming down the highway. And hopefully it's going to stimulate business and growth and keep folks here. I'm going to go down the line now and ask if the other council members have anything to say. Bill, you have a report for us?
Just very quickly, I want to just express my gratitude to the staff, especially in the tax office, the finance office, the courts. The mayor and I met with our auditors earlier this month and had the exit interview for the 2014 audit. And I guess we take it for granted, but as usual, it was very good. There were no comments and no objections, and it was, again, a job well done. Having been in those shoes, I know what auditors put you through, but good job, Steve. Thank you.
I'll echo that for auditor to come back, who they thoroughly go over the budget and everything with our close and exit. For them not to have many comments like that, that's a good thing. Usually towns will get a report, right? Volumes, but we didn't get one, just so you understand. Appreciate that. So good job again, Steve-O. That was awesome. And with a flat budget as well, so that was great. Good job. Donnie, you have anything?
No.
2015, you're right, 2015. I understood. I was a year off.
I figure you'd catch up.
No, nothing tonight.
Rich, anything, please?
Yeah, just a couple of things. Mayor, our Heritage Village project on West Park Avenue next to the post office is going along very well. Applications for people who'd like to make their home at Heritage Village, people can go to the town website, and application process will begin on April 19th. So
Great.
if anybody's out there, some of the people that were displaced due to flooding over a period of years, obviously they're going to be moved in there first, but I think roughly, is it about half of the units, more or less, are still going to be available. So you can apply beginning April 19th. I, along with the mayor and with the councilman, the chair, we sit on the executive board for the Chamber of Commerce here in Ocean Township. Their meeting last Thursday, April 7th at 8 a.m. At that meeting, I brought along a good friend of ours.
Let me guess. Was his name Freeholder Arnone?
Actually, it was Freeholder Director Tom
knew it.
Arnone.
How'd I know, Bill?
Yeah, and he talked briefly to the executive board members about the Grow Monmouth program. We had a meeting of that here in these chambers sometime last year, and then he also talked about the program that he had initiated called Made in Monmouth, and I think it was the following Saturday at Monmouth University. Some of those folks that are creating products right here in Monmouth County had a display of those products.
Big turnout, too.
Yeah, 214 booths. So I think that says a lot. And my last item that I want to discuss, Mayor, Wednesday, April the 27th at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium, there will be a meeting on the sad heroin epidemic that we have throughout the state of New Jersey, if not throughout the United States. That heroin epidemic seminar will be hosted by State Senator Jennifer Beck. So, come out, hear what some experts have to say about this tragic epidemic. Hits close to home for me. I have a child who was a recovering heroin addict, and he's sober today, and that's the way we take that. So come out Wednesday, April 27th, 7 p.m. at the high school. The heroin epidemic seminar hosted by State Senator Jennifer Beck. That's all I have at this time, Mayor.
Good, thank you, Rich. Rob?
Rich took all my time. I don't have anything.
He took a lot of time.
Yeah.
Steve-O, nothing yet? Or yeah, okay, wait till budget. And then we have sitting in tonight, we have Mr. Matt Good sitting in for Mr. Marty Arbus. Folks, just so you know, before I get started on the meeting, the way we run the meeting here is we're going to go through our consent agendas. First, we're going to introduce the budget that we have tonight as well. And then after that, you have comment portion on resolutions. And then if there's none there, we're going to go through the regular agenda. And at the end of the meeting, then you can come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and say whatever you like, as long as it's germane to Ocean Township. Okay, fair enough? Okay, great. So, the purpose of the public portion of this solely to ask questions, understand resolutions and vouchers that appear on this agenda, and not an occasion for a public hearing on any ordinance. All questions not related to an item on the agenda should be asked during the public comments portion at the conclusion of the meeting. Tonight we have B1, authorize the 2016 municipal budget to be read by title only. Vin?
Nope, you just need a motion. And a second.
Okay, so a motion,
So moved.
second?
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, also need a motion to open a public hearing on the 2016 municipal budget.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Anybody wishing to be heard on the municipal budget, please come up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Seeing and hearing no one, I have a motion to close the public hearing on the municipal budget.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Also, we have B2, resolution to amend the previously approved 2016 municipal budget. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
You gonna go? No, we're gonna.
No, no,
second.
first, and then we're going to defer to Steve. He's just going to make a comment on the budget, and then we'll...
Okay. Basically, as you know, we are not self-exam this year. Our budget goes down to the state for a thorough review. In the review process, the state asked us if we would take some appropriations to match the revenue for the shared service of West Long Branch. So the resolution that you have in front of you amending the ordinance or the budget is one basically where we're rearranging the deck chairs. Nothing changes as far as the amount to be raised by taxation. Nothing changes as far as the appropriations. It's all the same. It's just moving within the line items.
Great. Thank you for that, Steve. Now, a motion to second the approval.
I'll second that, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
Roll call.
Yep. Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, someone please, a motion to adopt the
I
municipal.
gotta read something.
Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Township of Ocean, County of Monmouth, that the budget herein set forth is hereby adopted and shall constitute an appropriation for the purposes of the sums of $20,823,732.51 for municipal purposes. Total revenues of $35,204,734.95. For total appropriations of $35,204,734.95.
Great. Someone please make a motion to adopt the 2016 municipal budget as amended.
Move to adopt the 2016 municipal budget.
Second.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, tonight we have consent agenda minutes for March 10th.
Little minutes separately.
Okay, we're going to pull these separately, March 10th, and we'll do those first. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay, on the March 10th minutes, Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes, but I abstain on the public meeting portion of those minutes.
Okay, council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. And we have March 24th. Someone please offer.
Offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Abstain from both.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Abstain as I was absent that night. Also, we have resolutions 16080 through 16090. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, for individual action, we have vouchers tonight in the amount of $6,439,035.10. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Also, we have for tonight Resolution 16084, authorize the acceptance of the following grants. A, Community Development Block Grant. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, 16085, authorize the consideration of the following bids. A, Class B Recycling Material Recovery Facility. B, Recap Tires, Accessories, and Road Services. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, 16086, authorize the receipt of a 1999 Ford Expedition from the Township of Ocean Board of Fire Commissioners, number 1. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, 16087, request the approval of Director of the Division of Local Government Services to establish a dedicated trust by rider for outside employment of off-duty police officer. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, and 16088, authorize the tax collector to issue a refund to the owner of Block 60, Lot 6, due to an overpayment on the first quarter of 2016 taxes. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, so we have several ordinances tonight for adoption that were read in at the last meeting. So first one is ordinance 2264. Ben, would you read the title, please?
An ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the revised general ordinances authorizing stop intersections in various locations throughout the township.
Great. Someone please open a public hearing on ordinance 2264.
I make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garfalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Shephaka,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, anybody wishing to be heard on ordinance 2264, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Seeing or hearing no one, someone please offer to close 2264.
I offer to close the hearing on ordinance 2264.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, ordinance 2265. Then would you read the title, please?
You have to adopt.
You have to-
22.
Oh, I'm sorry. Make a motion to adopt ordinance 2264. Sorry.
I'll offer.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, that one's done. All right, now 2265. Then would you read that title?
An ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the revised general ordinances designating certain streets as through streets.
Great. Someone please open the public hearing on 2265.
I make a motion, we offer to a public hearing on ordinance 2265.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Anybody wishing to be heard on 2265, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Come on up, please.
Sorry. Debbie Mansfield, 1106 Bendemeer. What streets are going to be made through streets?
Klein Street in Franklin.
Hang on, Vin.
My only concern is Doris Avenue.
No, it's not going to be Doris.
It's not Doris.
You're good.
So Vin doesn't have to look it up?
I don't have
Okay.
to look it up. I'm good.
Klein and Franklin.
Anybody else on 2265? Step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing and hearing no one, someone please make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance
I
2265.
make a motion that we close the public hearing on ordinance number 2265.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Action please on ordinance 2265.
I move that we adopt ordinance number 2265.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Next up is ordinance 2266. Vin, would you read the title?
An ordinance amending ordinance 2255 establishing salaries and compensation for certain offices, positions, and employees for the township.
All right, someone please open the public hearing. I'm sorry, make a motion to open the public hearing on 2266.
I make a motion that we make this available to have public comment on ordinance number 2266.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, anybody wishing to be heard on ordinance 2266, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Seeing or hearing no one, someone please make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 2266.
I make a motion that we close the public hearing on ordinance number 2266.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Action please on ordinance number 2266.
Yes, I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 2266.
Second.
And as published according to law.
Second.
Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. We see, we didn't have a warm-up today, so that's ordinance 2267. Rich, Ben, why don't you read the title?
Okay. An ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the revised general ordinances prohibiting parking in various locations throughout the township.
Great. Someone please open the public hearing on 2267.
I make a motion that we offer a public hearing on ordinance number 2267.
And anybody wishing to be heard on 2267?
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yeah, he was walking up to the mic. I just had to get right to it.
I didn't want to waste any time.
So anybody wishing to be heard on 2267, state your
Paul
name and
Mayor,
address.
117 Cedar Village Boulevard.
Yes.
Was this prompted by parking conditions at the park and the Little League fields?
This one here?
Yeah.
No.
No.
It's bike lanes.
This is for the bike lanes at Sunset and
Is this the one that-
Logan Road.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a park on Logan Road and there's the ball fields on.
Oh, there, yes, I'm sorry. I thought you meant at the play park. Yeah, it's really specifically to get those bike lanes in and keep them open.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else wishing to be heard on ordinance 2267? Step up to the microphone, state your name and address. Seeing and hearing no one, someone please close the public hearing on 2267.
I make a motion that we close the public hearing on ordinance number 2267.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, action please on ordinance 2267.
I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 2267 and as published according to law.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, next up, ordinance 2268. Vin, would you read the title, please?
An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 2B of the revised general ordinances entitled Miscellaneous Administrative Provisions and Personnel Policies.
All right, someone please open the public hearing on ordinance 2268.
I make a motion that we have a public hearing on ordinance number 2268.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garfala.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, anybody wishing to be heard on ordinance 2268, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing or hearing no one, someone please make a motion to close ordinance 2268.
I make a motion that we close the public hearing on ordinance number 2268.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garfala.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, action please on ordinance 2268.
Make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 2268 and as published according to law.
Great.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garfala.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, and for introduction tonight, we have ordinance number 2269.
An ordinance authorizing the private sale of a portion of non-conforming real property known as Block 8, Lot 27, to a contiguous property owner of Block 8, Lot 24.
No one offer to introduce ordinance 2269?
I'll introduce ordinance number 2269.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garfala.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, and that'll have its public hearing on the 4/28 meeting. At this time, anybody has anything? Come on up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and
007's jumping out of his seat. Did you see how fast?
Doc, if you could just turn it a little more. Let me get you on TV and that's perfect.
Do I have to wait?
That's perfect right there.
Vinny 007. You must have been reading my mind because I wanted to bring this up today. On Route 35,
Yes.
some beautification to that route, trees, shrubs, something, because it's very depressing riding down there,
Mm.
and it's one of our major routes in Ocean Township.
Yeah, sure.
It needs something to be done on
Right.
it.
It's a 3-mile stretch, and yeah, at first I wanted to try to see if we could do something better at that medium in the middle, but it's highway tested, crash tested, so they have certain specifications that they have to stick with. But then I said, hey, how about at least make it look better? And so I noticed on Route 29 in Trenton, for example, there's a nice stamp block. There's different looks that you can have. That's a 50-year-old divider.
Or what about on the sides?
On the sides, there's going to be also some enhancements, and then also, Bill, when we were there talking about signal enhancements, crosswalks, etc., and maybe even looking into wide promenade sidewalks along 35. It may encourage folks to go from one center to another on a nice day or night. Who knows?
And it needs something to say that we're not a depressed area.
That's right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anybody else? Come on up to the microphone, state your name and address. There's a familiar-looking fellow coming up. I wonder what his name is. Yes, sir. Paul Marowitz.
I'm glad you mentioned Route 35.
Yes.
There are a number of people in this room who are off Route 66. And we all use the Asbury Park Circle. The state was supposedly doing a study this year of the Asbury Park Circle and Route 66. Did that come up at all in your conversation?
Yes, yeah, it did. Bill brought it up, and they just seemed to like, right, Bill? I got the impression it wasn't like high priority. It was the darndest thing, at least the circle. 66 is the circle they confounded.
What happened with the studies is that there's fewer accidents now than there were the way it was configured in the past, which I know is hard to believe, but and like I said, I use my advice for driving the circle. Don't make eye contact with anybody. you can get through it. But
The other
Jersey
recommendation
style.
I've heard is just simply avoid the circle.
yeah, but 66 is on their radar.
Yeah.
But again, they don't have a firm date on it.
I mean, they've had that land available to expand 66.
Long time.
For a long, you're right.
For as
There's
long
things they
as
can do
I can
there. It's
remember.
different than 35. Yeah.
I mean, it's there. It's sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, we can get that out of the trust fund, right?
Yeah. Right.
Chris, I heard you say that the Hillel School was celebrating their 50th anniversary this year.
Yeah.
I got a great education there. The only problem is
You're not that old, Paul.
my brother and I started and were in the first class of the Hillel School in 1952 when it was on the corner of Asbury Avenue and Comstock. So I'm trying to figure out, doing the math,
When it went to...
how they come up to 50.
Oh, it said Logan Road, 65.
Logan Road, I moved to when I was in 8th grade,
Was that...
and that would have been 5960.
Oh, maybe. Maybe they weren't I don't know, Paul. They called it 50. Give them credit. Maybe it's longer, right?
Maybe they're rounding. Okay.
Rounding down.
Steve, you probably can, I don't know who's going to answer this question. I have a question about our legal budget, okay? Our legal budget covers, to the best of my knowledge, till I'm corrected, all the legal expenses basically for the township.
No,
Go ahead.
no, it doesn't because of JIF. Am I right, Bill?
No, it's all according to what you consider legal expenses, like the zoning board attorney comes out of the zoning board, the planning board attorney comes out of the planning board. Anything legal that has to do with builder's escrow comes out of the escrow accounts. The township legal line is basically for our township attorney. Trouble getting old. The attorney we use for negotiations and employee litigation comes out of a different line item.
No, it's all in legal.
It's all, that's in there now?
Mhm.
Okay, it's changed in a couple of years.
I saw a line item for the Board of Adjustment of about $14,000, okay? And I know, not the Board of Adjustment, the Planning Board. Was there also a line item for the Board of Adjustment that I missed?
No, the majority of legal is
Comes
in
out of
legal.
escrows, right? For
With the Board of Adjustment.
For the Board of Adjustments, anything that has to do with the developers,
right.
they foot the bill for that.
But I'm assuming the developer pays the township first, and then we reimburse the attorneys.
No, what happens is that the developers give us we have review fees and we have inspection fees and some other development type fees that go into an escrow account. As bills are being generated, money is taken from those escrow accounts to pay the professionals who are involved.
So does that mean that all the boards and commissions that have their own legal counsel, which are independent of the council, also completely control their own purse strings?
The boards are the ones who approve those expenditures, but there is legal money in those lines for things like attendance at the meetings and things like that.
Okay, but if they needed additional counsel, that's solely their decision?
Well, yeah, but
Additional counsel.
they wouldn't, why would they need additional counsel?
No, let's say we had an application that we needed extra counsel for.
That
That- yeah.
would come out of our regular legal
would
line.
come
Yeah,
out
that
of
be
regular
litigation.
That wouldn't be them. If you're talking about litigation like now, then
Oh, yeah, that's a good example.
that comes back to the township.
So it's the
Then that comes out
township
of our
that
legal.
controls those purse strings as to whether or not we spend additional monies and how
Well,
much
if
we
it's
additionally
litigation,
spend.
we have no choice. I mean, and it's gonna come to us and then we have to defend it.
But we are in the joint insurance fund.
We're in a jiff.
Okay. I don't know how to address this question, but someone told me that, they asked me, did I look at the clock at the last Board of Adjustment meeting when testimony from objectors started,
Okay.
unrepresented objectors? And I said, no, I no longer wear a watch. They implied, or at least to me they implied, that we ran with objector testimony when you exclude swearing in, and pauses, and going up and back and forth, of probably only an hour and 40 minutes of testimony. Yet, the Board of Adjustment basically has said there's not going to be any testimony, even though the courts have ordered us to permit 2 hours of testimony.
I think
Can we verify somehow whether or not we really had 2 hours of testimony?
two things you can do, Paul, and I'm not cutting you off, but
I know.
A, it's airing tonight at 8:30. If we get out of here on time, or 8:45, you can go and watch it and you can clock it. But I think, And I don't know, you can check with the board attorney there, that there was no other testimony. I think they had the mic open, and then no one else came up to the mic, and then they closed it. So 2 hours was the up to. It could be 50 minutes. If you finished in 50 minutes and that's what you got, they're not going to carry it to the next meeting. They would have done it right there.
I think that's the way the judge's order read.
Right.
No, I'm not so sure. Hold on.
Yeah.
They are permitted a total of 2 hours between the two hearings for their testimony. It says between the two hearings, which implies we can testify, or objectors can testify, at the second hearing if we haven't gone over 2 hours.
My suggestion to you is show up at the next meeting, give it a go.
If I get recognized.
That's what I'm saying.
If I get recognized at all.
Yeah.
Okay? But it's an issue that I wanted to bring to your attention. That's it.
Good, thank you. Anybody else? Please come on up. Deb?
Do I have to say my name and
Yeah,
address
just
again?
because Vinny keeps it on record.
Okay, Debbie Mansfield, 1106 Bendemeer.
Okay.
One thing is, I have a question. The people now living in the existing Poplar Village are going to be allowed to stay there, correct?
Yeah, the 32 units are staying.
Okay.
Yep.
My
Yeah, the
father's
ones that are living
having a
there
heart
are
attack
staying
over
there,
this.
yeah.
No, they don't have
He's
to
there.
go.
He's
No,
good.
he's good.
Okay.
Listen, the guy's lived in Ocean 82 years. We're not going to kick him out now.
Oh, good. I hope not, because he won't go to a high rise. So he's talking about moving back to Middlebrook if they're going to
No, he's fine. there.
shove him in a high rise. Okay. And the other thing, I just want to make a statement about the yeshiva. I know my opinion, my observation from watching the Board of Adjustment was a lot of them were intimidated by this federal judge's ruling. And then they were very concerned about dragging the fight out if they denied their application, dragging it out, and the expense. Well, I am sure that to keep the quality of our life in Wanamassa and in our township, if taxes have to be raised to pay for this litigation, it will be minuscule. And I don't think you're going to have anyone in town objecting to raising their taxes to fight this.
Good. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate it. Just a note on that, just so you guys know, I know the court order was quite stern. Again, we can't comment too much on it, but the board at this application are going to hear this case just like any other application now. And we've discussed it, and they pretty much know. They understand what it's about, and they're just going to hear it based on testimony. And you're going to get I think you're going to get a fair hearing on this. I really do. I have a lot of confidence in these folks. A lot of them have been doing it a long time. These are the same people that brought you the karate academies and the gymnastic studios and Wegmans and all that. So they like it here too. Anybody else? Mr. and Mrs. Madden,
Sally Madden.
Bill Madden, 562 North Edge.
you're going to tell us we have to register to vote.
Well, I'm glad you told them.
I just figured it was coming.
We're here from the League of Women Voters. We represent the League as our observer court of public meetings and take back to our organization the activities and the decisions that the town makes. For those of you who might not know, the League is a political organization, but nonpartisan. We never support a candidate or a party. On the other hand, we encourage the active participation and education of citizens so that they can pursue that activity. So tonight we're here to give you our annual presentation.
Great.
Yeah, the Township of Ocean League of Women Voters would like to give you this copy of the 2016 New Jersey Citizens Guide to Government. It's a convenient and inclusive resource for all you need to know about voting and government in our state. For more than 40 years, our local league has been registering voters, hosting and moderating candidate forums, and delivering information on public issues to voters. We are a reliable, well-researched source of nonpartisan information and political action. For 33 years, we have hosted Facts and Issues, a public issues interview program, cablecast on local stations, and available on our website. Our website, lwvto.org, is a rich source of information about the township, including in-depth explanations of our form of government and portals to official voting and election sites. Beyond our voter service, we have studied and advocated for local positions, including planning, acquisition of open space, and more. Our organization is part of the State and National League of Women Voters, both also aggressively committed to making democracy work. The LWVNJ and LWVUS educate voters and, based on grassroots study and consensus, advocate in Trenton and Washington on issues ranging from financing of elections to clean air and water. So we invite you to visit our website, lwvpo.org, and use the information in the Citizen's Guide and maybe even consider becoming members.
Great.
I've been a member for about 20 years,
Awesome.
from the time that they allowed men to be.
There you go.
So,
There you go.
And you're gonna leave, you wanna leave those tonight?
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
for any
Bill is,
folks?
While
Okay.
Bill is handing those to you, I want to remind the readers of the Coaster that this week there's a good letter from Dallas Grove.
Thank you.
Reminding people of the dates to register
Thanks, Bill.
for the upcoming elections.
Great.
Thank
They're
you.
also on the township website too,
Yes,
so.
thank you.
Good. Thank you, Mrs. Madden. Yeah, a great service. And I'll say this to you guys, the League of Women Voters, the website, it's a great learning tool for anybody who's looking to maybe go on a Board of Education, council, whatever, because they actually archive all their forums, if you will. So if you want to brush up or see how they're done or how they're moderated, it's a very good learning tool. So very useful. Thank you
Might
for
be
that.
something that those youngsters that are coming from the high school,
Yeah, we'll
they-
sync them on it.
we might be able to, show them that and
They're gonna be doing
they'll learn
everything.
something from it, so it'll be a good experience for them.
We'll have them pulling staples and watching that and
Yeah.
folding letters. Right, Bill? We'll keep them busy.
Keep busy.
Great. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, come on up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Jerry Lynn Naboa. I live at 1 Sherrill Drive in Oakhurst.
Yes.
So I haven't been following every detail of the request for a variance for the yeshiva as carefully as others, but I think I'm fairly familiar with the concepts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. You can take that off if you want.
Okay. And I guess I just have sort of a question for the board.
If we can.
Okay, so I've heard the testimony, I think it's the testimony in the Board of Adjustment hearings, and I've heard from expert consultants in those meetings. And I was wondering if, I heard them from the applicant side and perhaps from those who were objecting to the yeshiva. But if the Board of Adjustment wanted to have an independent consultant to give expert testimony, one who wasn't affiliated with either side, how would they be able to do that?
The Board of Adjustment has their professionals. They have a planner, they have an engineer, and they have an attorney. And pretty much that's it. And they rely on them.
So they wouldn't be able to have any kind of other independent expert?
No, in this case, what you saw was there's objectors and they hired an attorney and then other professionals. They were able to do that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? And we'll answer whatever questions we can as far as this application. Please keep in mind we're limited because we can't take a position on it so as not to influence the outcome. Mrs. Hudson?
Barbara Hudson, Horace Drive. I have 3 questions.
Yes.
I'm sorry that Mr. Brennan is not here because someone on my email list wants to know what happened to the chickens.
Oh, okay.
Remember the chickens?
Yeah.
I did. I was here for one
So,
of those.
can anybody answer that?
I don't know.
I don't hear
I
them.
I
told
haven't
her.
seen them or heard them.
We'll take a note.
Take a note. Tell me.
They were delicious, somebody
There you
said.
Okay, I have 2 more questions and then I want to make a statement
Sure.
about the shiva. In what document is the mandate from Judge Wilson about how the VOA is to rule on the religious law, which was not part of the order we received, which was about having the meetings and setting the condition? So we never knew anything about that until we went to the meeting.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
what other documents were there? I mean,
Judge's order. I don't.
that
it was an
had to be
order.
read by the lawyers rather than
That's how it usually
public.
works.
You
Yeah.
know, was it released to the public?
Well, I'm going to defer to Mr. Good. I mean, there's a site you can go to read our answer, which was really good. They answered a
So
58
it was
page.
public. It was
But
public.
all documents filed, unless they're under seal, which I don't believe anything are available if you go to the If you Google search the District Court of New Jersey, there's something called a PACER account, PACER, that you have to sign up for.
But you have to go to that too.
Yeah.
Which is very technical. So basically, basically the public doesn't know.
Documents are.
Okay, we'll do that. And we knew that, we would have done it. And the third thing was the Atlanticville Article 413 referred to a possible compromise that would reduce the number of adult residents at the community academy. So who and where and what is being negotiated?
I'll tell you right now, Friday, Andrew and I were in the office and talked to the attorney representing us, and he was instructed no one's authorized to negotiate on our behalf for that site. So they're going to hear this case. Just the way it left off, they're going to go back and make a decision.
That should be part of the public, that's at that meeting.
There are no negotiations going on.
All right, now, I want to make a
No authorized negotiations going on. I'll say that.
Now, from all that we have read and heard, the yeshiva application of a Hasidic sect now located in Lakewood should be resoundingly defeated if for nothing more than its applicants found a means to assert that the Township of Ocean and its Board of Adjustment is or could be guilty of anti-Semitism. Since we only read Judge Wilson's order, that's what part of it was saying, that's all we knew. Right? Now, we went to the meeting and then found out when Chairman Good asked the opposing resident planner how the BOA could use his points of objection, where the burden of proof on the BOA was to show if they denied the change in variance, such a decision did not violate the religious law passed in 2000. In effect, and as interpreted by those opposing the Shiva at that April 5th meeting, a denial converts to anti-Semitism, when in fact such a denial would be based on our zoning and planning ordinances that, in this and other cases, have required not only a majority vote, but one with a supermajority of 5 out of 7 of our zoning board of adjustment members. Such conditions have been uniformly and without bias applied over many long years as the natural rights of local communities to protect their neighborhoods. While we don't know where this apparent mandate of Judge Wolfson's arrived, as it doesn't seem to be in the order of the file of the BOA, it would appear to be for the benefit of a small, specialized community to override the wishes and rights of the community at large, who are also guaranteed protection under the law by the Constitution, and particularly the 14th Amendment. Ocean Township is well known and the tolerant and integrated community, never having had a history of anti-Semitism, to be in fact an attraction to Jews, who are a large part of our population. But no matter one's religion, it is simply common sense for a healthy neighborhood to oppose having a small religious sect, no matter Jewish, Catholic, Protestant, Islamic, or whatever, planted in its midst 24/7, housing 24/7 up to 96 adult men, ages 18 to 24, confined to the property in a program of intense study without general provision for normal physical activity. Even more bewildering is suggesting that a township with more Jewish institutions than perhaps other religious denominations could or would be guilty of anti-Semitism. If the federal judge had in fact made such a mandate, it not only violates common sense, but in truth, the American way of life. Ocean clearly is not guilty of anti-Semitism. It retains the right to restrict specialized groups in nonconformance to neighborhoods, the right to see differences in religious organization, if not in religions. It is also our opinion that in suggesting a denial akin to anti-Semitism, this yeshiva applicant has done the township both emotional and financial harm by besmirching its sterling reputation and causing its residents high legal fees to defend itself against what we and many others consider false charges. We add that it is not insignificant that many of those articulate opponents of granting a variance are Jewish. Among one Jewish resident's many objections to the yeshiva was that it was neither a school nor institution of higher learning per se, per state statutes or township ordinances, that as a boarding school it would not be regulated by the state, but normally through the local municipality, that it is an institution not even registered with the State Board of Education, that its admission process does not require demonstrating a basic secular high school education and thus inconsistent with the public good, not as claimed inherently beneficial to the community, and that the New Jersey Supreme Court has held that such institutions for higher or specialized learning not partake of the special zoning protections afforded public and parochial schools. In addition to this strong testimony, another articulate Jewish resident testified, among other things, that a key word in the law relates to burdensome zoning requirements, when in fact our zoning requirements have been in effect historically to be universally applied to all religious institutions in the area, making the zoning restrictions neither burdensome nor directed at this yeshiva. Further, the density of Jewish institutions in the area and the fact that the transfer from Lakewood only provide a negligible increase in the area's provisions for this group make any denial of variance unable to be considered religious discrimination. We ask, could such residents be described as anti-Semitic? The answer is clearly no, and that they are not and should not be assumed anti-Semitic. If the court's mandate does suggest such a possibility, it is clearly wrong. Of course, there were other testimonies by non-Jewish residents, such as a gentleman who for some 30 years has lived next to the Jewish property in question that has been mostly a Jewish elementary school. Never did he feel any anti-Semitism, and only occasionally had complained about noise and other like disturbances of elementary children, and now worries about similar problems intensified by adults living in a 24/7 residency. Another of many in opposition expressed outrage to have opposition appear anti-Semitic. In conclusion, it seems to us that it's important to remember that one of the roots of this country's democracy is the separation of state and religion. Manipulating a law to overturn a community's legal ordinances and regulations turns our Constitution on its head and leads us down the road to theocracy. Ocean should never submit to the will of a small religious group that is not the Jewish community at large, but a specialized offshoot practicing perhaps a new kind of discrimination camouflaged by misinterpretation of a rather new law in perhaps our new age, supposedly to prevent discrimination, but in fact allowing a few powerful people to themselves discriminate against the majority. Where have we heard that before?
I thought you said that was in conclusion. Okay.
No real American, no matter their faith, wants such diversion of its rights. Our zoning board and our council need to reject the demand to not enforce its ordinances and regulations. If in contrast our government bodies support the yeshiva, they must take responsibility for their legacy, or it will more than likely begin a major change in the character of our community, with nearby Lakewood an example of what can happen when populations become imbalanced. And now, I'm reading from the Asbury Park Press that had a big to-do about this. Mark Rosenwald wrote that his cities were free to have and educate their children as they like, but not free to disregard federal law, state law, and municipal ordinances.
Mrs. Hudson, I'm gonna stop you on reading in articles from that. Your statements were great. We'll take those under advisement. We can't really comment on it. I think in the beginning of this meeting, I made the statement that I was offended that we were labeled as anti-Semitic, because I don't believe that's the case in our town. And that's
That
their...
is not the case. It's history.
Right,
Proven.
that's right. So, I mean, I think that's been said, and we can go on, and there was a 58-page response from our attorneys that was really well written. Right, Bill? I mean, really well written, and they answered all that, and they mentioned the mikvahs that we have and all the other inclusionary things. So they really said it for us, and the judge saw it this way, and the case is going to be heard, the final hearing is going to be the 25th. So I have faith in the process, and I have faith in those people on the board, so that they're not going to do...
Pay attention to what happened to Lakewood, because I'm from Lakewood as well.
Yeah, we see
right?
part of the problem,
So, with
Mrs.
a great
Hudson.
American
I got to
town-
stop you because that's what got us here, is talking about other towns and making comparisons. For your own good, I'm going to say, let's not mention that anymore, because these are televised meetings, they're taped.
But
That's
it's in the
fine.
paper.
Mrs. Hudson,
All right, I will.
I'm
but
chairing
it's
the
in
meeting.
paper, so I'm not doing it.
Thank you. Thank you, though, for your comments. Anybody else? And I just advise you folks, these meetings are taped and televised. Anybody can review the tape.
Paul Marowitz, maybe you should add Mrs. Hudson to the legal team. A quickie. I just want to make sure I've interpreted our land use ordinances correctly. It's my understanding that should the Board of Adjustment approve the application, any interested party, whether represented by attorney or not represented by attorney, can file an appeal of the decision. And I'm reading from 21-13 of the land use ordinances.
You're reading.
Yeah, no, they can, Paul. I mean,
I just wanted to confirm that.
yeah,
Okay?
that's true.
The
It has to
second,
be, they have to come in with, of course, good reason. It can't be, I don't want this. It's got to be more than that.
well, as I understand, the appeal is based upon the current record as opposed to starting new testimony again. So what's on the record at that point in time
Right.
is on the record, and we don't go through another lengthy process of hearings. You read the transcripts, and on the appeal, you make the decision.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I received a copy yesterday of the Chabad Toms River lawsuit against Toms River. I would strongly suggest, if they haven't seen it already, that our legal counsel look at that. The attorney representing Chabad, his stores are in green. There's some very interesting comments in there that they make, and there's a very strong contrast between Chabad and the yeshiva going into Ocean, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Thank you.
But I strongly suggest, and I would strongly suggest that everybody read it.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Paul. Thank you. Anybody else have any other comments? Please come on up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Now's your time. Doc?
I sit here and I've been listening to this. The Board of Adjustment is to meet and make a decision. What's going on here now is that some people are using this to bring testimony which they could have brought before. And it's not right. It's taking up our time for the community purposes when there was a forum that was open to anyone who wanted to use it. And not do it now after the hearing was closed. Thank you.
Thank you. He's right, but I invite everybody up to the microphone, and we don't have a timer on you, and say what you will, it's fine. We're patient, but thank you, Doc.
Gino Delamo, 45 Wickapeco. Since we've been silenced at that meeting, as residents of this community, everybody has a right to be at this meeting and express their opinions. Thank you.
Correct. Very good, Gino, thank you. And that's true. Anybody else has anything? And like I said, if it's town business, come on up to the microphone, state your name and address, and have your say. Well, seeing or hearing no one, we'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Well, they're in a hurry.
Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members of chair.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, I want to thank you all for coming and remind you that these meetings air both twice a day on at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Channel 22 if you have files, and 77 if you have Cablevision, except for Tuesday nights. Thank you for coming. Meeting adjourned.